Let me do it.
Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of Over the Top Talk. I'm your host, Owen, and today my special guest on here is Michael Aswell, as you'll see on the bottom. He's opening up next week's card, UFC Brazil, against Lucas Almeida.
Bro, my bad. Someone just gave me someone just called me, bro.
No, it's really good. Um, I just like to open these up. It's Wednesday. UFC Brazil is obviously next Saturday. How
Yep.
you feeling? Almost a week out to fight day.
Yeah, man. We're about 10 days out, getting closer to 9 days, and feeling great. Everything's on point. Weight's good, body's good, mind's good. So I'm ready to go to Brazil and put on the show.
Yeah, and how do you feel? Kind of, you're opening up the show for UFC Brazil, and obviously, Charles Oliveira is closing that show. So, how does it feel to kind of be able to open a show that a legend like Charles is closing?
Yeah, it's a blessing, bro. I didn't even know I was gonna be on the main card. They announced it on the fights last week. I was watching and I didn't really even kind of see that. Didn't notice it until my friend texted me and was like, "Bro, you're on the main card." And I was like, "Oh wow, like this is pretty cool." So, I think Randy Brown and Ishmael, that fight ended up getting moved to some Apex main event. So they had open slot and moved your boy up. I think they've seen what I can do in my past couple fights, and I think they know I'll start the show off with a bang.
Yeah, and obviously your opponent being from Brazil, pretty much the fights in his backyard, I guess they would say. How do you kind of stop that, momentum that he is probably going to have getting into that octagon in front of his home crowd?
Yeah, man. I think at the end of the day, once you step into the cage, you forget kind of where you are and who's around and what's going on. So I think it's all about me putting on my pace and doing what I do best and fighting my fight. And I think that'll silence the crowd.
Awesome. And, how's this training camp, been going for you? I know probably, finishing up probably this week until you fly out. So how's training camp or fight camp been for you?
Yeah, everything's been great. Everything's been firing on all cylinders, and I, got 7 weeks of work to get back down to my weight class, and it's the first time I really got to work with the UFC, and they're telling me what to eat, and how much I should weigh, and everything's been going smooth. My weight's been great. I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been in, and it's been easy. And I'm happy. I'm blessed, and I'm excited to go out and fight in Brazil.
Awesome. And what have you maybe, let's say, what have you improved on since your last fight that you've had?
Yeah, man. I think I just been improving on all aspects of being a fighter. I think I've just been trying to improve. More defense and more don't get hit and hit them, and I think just growing as a person. And I think all those tie into the fighting aspect of it too. So there's been a lot of changes. I think a lot of habits and routines that have been playing a bigger factor into my development as a fighter and as a person, and just really just making every day count. I think that's kind of the improvements I've been having.
Yeah, and fight week starts on Monday. What would you say is your favorite part about fight week?
Favorite part about fight week? I mean, I've had one. so far. And I think just the media day, just being able to kind of put your gloves on, put the shorts on, and kind of get a feel of what you're about to go do on Saturday. Kind of you're like, okay, this feels nice, this is cool, and I remember the when I did it last time it was short notice. It was very frantic, and it went so fast. I don't think I got to enjoy it that much. So I'm gonna try to really just sit back and kind of enjoy this fight week a little bit. And being on the main card, I'm sure I'll have a little more interviews and stuff. So that'll be a cool little twist to this week. So we'll see how that goes, and just take it by stride. We'll adapt. Day by day.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of different fighters on this podcast. Do you have any superstitions? Maybe when you're in the locker room, do you like have something special you do before you go into the octagon?
Nah, man, nothing special. I think not too many superstitions, man. At the end of the day, what I go do when I get in the cage is what's gonna happen. It's not because I didn't do this or I didn't wear that or something. It's not the reason why I'm gonna win or lose a fight. I think it's just what happens in that octagon is what's gonna happen, and I just make sure that just making sure I'm breathing and being under control at all times of my emotions, and I think those are gonna be the biggest keys. Um, if I'm doing routine or anything, just trying to make sure that I'm not getting almost too excited or getting too amped, trying to be as even kill as possible until when it's time to turn it up.
Of course, and what would you say is maybe your favorite part about fighting in general?
I think it's being able just to express myself and being able to let yourself know that you're capable of more than you could have even thought possible, and being able to always find another limit and always take it up a notch. You know, find that next level, that step. Kind of going to a path that's not really been taken by many. So I think this sport just really brings out that mano y mano, that man versus man, that real Bruce, like that real human aspect of things. This is like real life stuff. Like we go in there and you can die. Like this is real shit. So I think that's probably my favorite aspect, is just knowing that I think I'm the best and I get to go prove it and show it to the world.
Yeah, and Lucas sits at I think a 15-4 record right now. What would a win over him do for, let's say, your career right now?
Yeah, man. I think in fighting, every fight that you have is always your most important. So, this is my first fight at featherweight, my first fight, my second fight for the UFC. Taking out a guy like Almeida, who's had 5 fights already in the UFC, like you said, 15-4, about to have his 20th fight. Taking out someone like him shows who I am and where I am and where I belong in the division already at such a young age. So I think taking him out put this a stamp on, where I should go next and what should be my next move, in the weight class. So yeah, man, I think it's a good fight and I'm ready for the opportunity.
Awesome, and I know you'll probably have media around this time next week. I know those reporters ask a lot of the same questions, so I like to kind of do some unrelated questions. So, what would you say is maybe your favorite music to listen to while you're training?
Favorite music? I mean, I really only listen to like Kodak Black and like NBA YoungBoy, like Maxo Cream. Those are probably like my only three that I really listen to. But it's really like Kodak and NBA YoungBoy. Maybe some Lil Durk lately, but that's pretty much it, bro. That's like I just like, I don't know why, bro. I think they just talk about like murdering people and just fucking fires me up.
Yeah, and if there was maybe, one, let's say one food that, like, if you had to eat it for, the rest of time, what would that food be?
Probably ice cream. I think that's like my favorite food is bluebell ice cream. So if they can just give me any flavor, probably eat that forever. If not that, if that's not considered a food because it's a dessert, then probably like a burger or something, maybe some lasagna or something like that. Those are like my favorite. Those are like my three favorite foods.
And, let's say other than, maybe watching the UFC, what other kind of sports would you say you like watching?
Bro, no bullshit. I love watching like golf and tennis. Those are like my two favorite
Golf,
sports.
yeah.
Yeah, golf and tennis, like those are my shit. Don't get me wrong though, I grew up playing football, so I love watching football. Every Sunday, I'm just like everybody else. I'm watching Red Zone and stuff. Like we're locked in on my fantasy. Like we got some plays in. Like NFL football, we're on that. Baseball's alright, basketball's alright, but yeah, football, golf, tennis, and then UFC. Those are like the only sports. Those are like my main four probably. But I love every sport though. Don't get me wrong, I play it all too. Like you ever want to play anything? What's up, bro? Like. I'm like that.
Yeah, and I know you just mentioned, fantasy football. What's your record looking like in the first 4 weeks?
Bro, we're bad. I think we're like I have three leagues, bro. I think I'm 2-2 in one of them and like 1-3 in these other ones. Bro. I'm about to blow up my team, bro. I'm about to trade so many people, bro.
Yeah, I just went through that because my team's 0-4, so I know how it
Oh
feels.
God. Yeah.
Um, but for fighters that come on here, I like to ask them, if you, weren't with the UFC, weren't fighting, what do you think you would be doing right now?
Bro, I have no idea, dude. I was 16, 17, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be in the UFC. And that is the only thing that I thought, and that's the only thing that I did, and I grind. I literally have never had a job. I only went to school and I fought. I've been fighting since I was 17. So I made my pro debut when I was 20. So kind of things kind of got rolling, kind of got going. Especially I think COVID is the one that kind of really pushed it to me to be like, hey, you got to turn pro. And there's not amateur fights going on. So you know, I, I'm young. I'm 25. Just had my birthday a couple days ago, but I'm still a long time in this game, man. And yeah, if I shit, bro, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you what I would be doing right now. I mean, something athletic, I think, or something in along the lines of being different and something like that.
Yeah, and if you could, choose, any UFC fighter right now to, train with, spar with, who would that fighter be?
I mean, I already train with the ones I want to. I train with Josh Van and Alden Correa. So, other UFC fighters, I mean, someone I can really think of off the top of my head. They'd have to be in like my weight class. But if they're in my weight class, I want to fight them. I don't want to train with them. So I'll just keep it at Josh and Alden
Yeah, and, Josh
and
just
Pineda.
named, obviously, Josh the Killer, he's got a championship fight soon.
Yeah,
I don't know if they've confirmed that, but
yeah. They
uh,
haven't said nothing about it yet, but
pretty much what the tone is with him. I'm a huge
yeah.
fan of Josh. I can't wait till that fight actually gets produced.
Oh yeah.
Um, but this Saturday, it's UFC 320 season right before your pay per view. What who do you think is gonna win between Alex Pereira and Ankalaev?
I think Ankalaev probably wins. I think it's just a weird stylistic matchup between them, but I hope Alex wins. I think Alex is more exciting for the division.
Yeah, my heart right now is telling me Alex, but I think it is gonna be Ankalaev probably again, unfortunately.
Yeah. I saw him. We were in the sauna with him like a week ago at the PI. So him and his coaches were cool. Can't. So I wouldn't be
Yeah,
mad if we won. He's a cool guy. We're literally just in the sauna with him. So
yeah, they're going through their weight cuts. Probably tonight. I know Alex Pereira does some crazy. I feel like he's always like 60 pounds, something crazy over, and then he somehow ends up making weight. So
what's today? Wednesday? Nah, they'll probably do a little bit tonight. They'll have a big weight cut tomorrow,
yeah,
and then they'll finish. They'll probably cut some more weight in the morning, probably Friday morning.
yeah, and that's all the questions I have for you. But where can the people watching or listening find you on social media?
Yeah, man. Underscore Michael Aswell MMA on Instagram, on Twitter, Aswell Michael, TikTok Michael Aswell 4, Facebook just my name Michael Aswell Jr. My dad's on there, so make sure you click mine. Um, and yeah, man, I'll be fighting October 11th, UFC Brazil. I think I'm opening the main cards, so that'll be live on ESPN. Y'all tune in and show some love.
Yeah, and for everyone watching, like he just said, he should be opening up the card next week, unless for some reason they change it. But
Right.
hopefully they don't. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Can't wait to watch you fight, Michael. I appreciate all of you guys who come on, especially so close to fight week. I love talking to you guys. But for everyone watching, make sure to follow Over the Top Talk as you see on the screen right now. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well. Instagram is where we post all our main stuff, clips, such as you'll see clips of this probably on there. Um, Michael, once again, it's been a pleasure. You obviously fly out to UFC, or you probably fly out to Brazil soon, right?
Yeah, I'll be flying out Sunday. I'll get in Monday, and then get ready for Fire Week on Tuesday.
Perfect. So for everyone watching, once again, tune in UFC Brazil next Saturday, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.